Howdy folks. Right, okay, I've been doing quite a few vlogs on different subjects, and I did do a sort of first impressions of my FZ6, the first review of it, and I'll probably follow that up in a few months with another review after I've been riding it for a while to give you my sort of long-term view of it. But it struck me that I haven't really done a serious review of my Harley, so I can tell you guys what it is, what I like about it, maybe tell you some things about Harleys that some of you will already know, but also some things that you might find useful or informative if you're considering perhaps going and getting a Harley yourself. And I know a lot of you go, no, what? I'm not doing that. But for those of you who would like to know more about my particular bike, or one of my bikes, then this is for you. So enjoy. Over to me, parked up. Okay, thank you, me. Here I am parked up, and here is the Harley Fatboy Special. So what's so special about it, apart from the dirt that's on it, because I haven't cleaned it recently, must get around to cleaning it. Well, Harley decided that a few years ago, this is a 2010 model, that they would start going back to sort of raw, dark bikes, if you like. They brought out a few models called Dark, where things weren't shiny and multicoloured, but rather everything was taken back to either matte finish or a dark finish, so to give it a more mean look. And you could park this Harley next to other Fatboys, and people who don't know much about Fatboys would probably say, it's not a lot of difference. Well, I suppose there's not really. I mean, in America they call this the Low, the Fatboy Low. In the UK they didn't lower it down so far because we've got roundabouts and bendy roads. So what have we got? Well, most of the covers, the things you see here, top of the rocker boxes, the covers there, this cover here, they're not shiny chrome, they're sort of a brushed steel. They're dirty, but they're brushed steel, and that's part of the special look, if you like. Again, if you look on top of the tank there, that's brushed, or they have got little bits of chrome. And again on the other side, you've got a brushed chrome cover rather than, sorry, a brushed steel cover rather than chrome. So that's some of the differences on it. The standard bike, which I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see the differences, slightly different to this. What I've done to this one to make it not unique, but make it more sort of comfortable for me and more what I want, I've blackened out the entire front. Now the lower forks on the Harley, that on the standard one, they are brushed steel. I've gone for black on those, and the petrol cap and the fuel cap, you've got the fuel cap on the right hand side, you've got the petrol cap. I've changed those to black, and mine have got little LEDs that light up. When you turn the engine on, you see the LEDs light up there. The grips are different. I've gone for different grips on there. I've smoked the indicators, you can see them flashing away there. The indicators, I put smoke covers on. I put an LED tail light on it because it's not bright red, it's sort of clear. And I've gone sort of dark as much as I can. So the biggest change obviously is those handlebars. Now they're slightly angled back. Normally I would put them a little bit higher than that. So you can see they're not quite in line with the forks. Sometimes I'll have them in line with the forks, but I find where they are now is the most comfortable position. They look a bit radical. They do look a bit uncomfortable, but trust me, that's the most comfortable position to ride in ever. It is really good. So I obviously put the big bars on, and it's a nice bike. It's not fast. It's got a bit of torque. 1580cc engine, but then again it's a heavy bike. But because the weight is all low down, it's quite easy for even a little person like me to lift it up and ride it. You'll probably notice over here, there you go, that little question mark is a sticker, tribute to Indian Larry. Some of you probably won't even know who Indian Larry is, but he was a He's dead now. He was a bike designer, did some beautiful bikes. So, little tribute to him there. The exhausts are non-standard. They are Vance and Hines, as you can probably see from the little badge there. Vance and Hines. These are called short shots. They do a similar exhaust called long shot, which takes it back further to about here. But I wanted the back wheel free, so I went for the short shots. And the thing about Harleys, if you take them for a test ride and you think to yourself, I'll have one of those, you might be a bit disappointed when you finally sit in front of the sales guy, because he'll then start to tell you that the one that you've been out on has been modded to the hilt. So I'm going to start it up and I'm going to head off back home, and on that journey I shall tell you about sitting in front of a salesman, taking a test ride, and the pitfalls of buying. See, look, even a tiddly like me can push this back. It is a beautiful bike. The pitfalls of buying a Harley and what you get for your money. When you do a test ride at a Harley dealership, they want you to have the best experience possible. And you can go down most weekends and find yourself being able to go out on a number of bikes. You obviously need all the usual stuff like your license and means of identification and stuff like that, but they quite like the idea of you going and testing out a few bikes. And you guys will probably be surprised with a couple of the bikes about how nippy they are and the beautiful sound that we all love on Harleys, or we all love, that some of us love. And when you get back in front of the sales guy, that's when he turns around and says to you, well, of course, that bike hasn't got standard exhausts, and that bike is stage 1 or stage 2. Now, I won't go into all the details of stage 1 and stage 2, but what it means is that the bike that you've taken out has probably got a different air filter, a different carburettor, probably got a fuel pack or a power command or whatever you want to call it on it. And the sound that you're getting is because the aftermarket exhausts are an add-on. And by the time you get the bike that you're interested in to the stage where it was like the one that you've taken for a test ride, you've probably spent another £1,200–1,400. So just bear that in mind, which is why it's probably quite economical if you're thinking of getting a Harley and you say you want to get yourself an 883 Sportster or a 1200 Sportster, something like that. Buy a second-hand one, because somebody else would have done all that work for you. And there's a lot of people out there who will spend a lot of money on all the bits and pieces to make their bikes the way that they like, and they don't bother taking them off when they sell them. So very few people will put the old original exhaust back on, so you can get yourself a pretty good bargain. So my advice would be, definitely go and have a test run. You'd be surprised at the performance of some Harleys. But just beware that the bike that you take out has probably been extremely modded. And if you wanted one like that on performance and sound, you probably are looking at spending a fair few quid on top. So guys, thanks for watching again, and if you're a biker, ride safe. If you're not, be safe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks guys, bye.